I didn't even come out because I was never in. I was that kid who didn't even know what gay was, didn't know what fashion was, but I knew I loved all of it. I was a really good dancer. So all my father's friends, they were like kind of all in the mob. Your kid's gonna be a dancer. Instead of like, your kid's gay, beat the shit out of him. So it kind of saved me like my little talent. I basically didn't want to get on camera. But after I saw the message, so many people, I was helping them get sober. It's not all about your looks, Cosmo. I was released from the gates of hell, and if I could come back, you guys could come back. The message was more powerful than anything I would ever look like. So I finally got the message. I was always pushing it. My family was devout Catholics, and my father was in the mob. Like, what am I gonna do with this one? So here I am at Bible study, and it says you can't be homosexual at all. So I'm like, the Bible also says, the truth shall set you free, and I'm gay.
I am like really happy to be connecting with you finally.
Finally. Girl, it's been a year, girl.
Yes.
It's been like this and that, and then you couldn't make it, then I got sick. Here we are.
Yeah, well, I wore sequins today, and little did I know you actually were going to be in them.
Fabulous. I love the do-rag, by the way. Love
Thank
the
you.
do-rag.
I wear it every day, pretty much.
Yeah,
Hermes
it's amazing.
one.
Yeah, it's very Rhoda. Do you remember Rhoda? She looked fabulous in her do-rag. So it's a good thing. Yes.
I'd love to hear about your style and, just what you feel it says about you and what your personal expression means to you. And
Yes.
Can you just
yes.
tell me about that?
It all started in Harlem when I was like a little queen. So my mother's sisters, I was fortunate she has like 3 sisters, and they were really beautiful, and they all had individual style. So my Aunt Jojo, I remember her 60s. I was born in 63. So I remember her wearing like the little mini dresses, and she would wear the salt and pepper wig, like a pixie wig. And she would do like the round glasses. So very 60s, But then I had another aunt, and she would always come home with like literally Chanel suits. Like she would just be gorgeous. And then my mother was really like vivacious. So she would wear headscarves, very vivacious. She was more like a kind of Anne Margaret back in the day with red hair. And she had like all this big, beautiful hair, big boobs. So she was kind of like a sex symbol. So I was fortunate enough to have my mother's sisters who embraced me as a little queen because I was running around with towels on my head and high heel shoes. And they were like, it's perfectly fine. We love Cosmo the way he is. I didn't even come out because I was never in. So basically, I was that kid who didn't even know what gay was, didn't know what fashion was, but I knew I loved all of it. So that's where it came from. It came from like growing up in Harlem and then watching the prostitutes. Like you hear Dolly Parton, she gets her fashion from the neighborhood hooker. And I remember the pimps and the cars and all that mad style, in New York. Because I think the fashion really comes from the hood, I know that's where the do-rag came from. Yes.
Right.
Like Rihanna till this day, she'll wear a do-rag, but she'll put like diamonds underneath it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where it came. I was like lucky enough to grow up like that in New York City.
It's amazing that what you said is you never had to come out because you were never in. That is amazing.
Yeah. I remember 5 years old, I would sit by the window and my mother's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm waiting for Davy Jones and Donny Osmond. And those were like my idols, and I was in love I had a crush on Davy Jones and I'm like, I'm going to marry him. And my father was in the mob. So she's like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this kid? Because as much as they accepted me, I always kind of like pushed the envelope. So that was my crush on Donny Osmond, which was like Michael Jackson as well. I remember in New York at an early age, in a pizzeria, and I would press J5, and it was the Jackson 5. Stop the love you save me, be your own. Finally take it slow, or one day you'll be all alone. So here I am. I knew J5, and I would just dance. I was a really good dancer. So all my father's friends, they were like kind of all in the mob. So it kind of saved me like my little talent of like style. And they're like, your kid's gonna be a dancer. You know what I mean? Your kid's gonna be a dancer. Instead of like, your kid's gay, beat the shit out of him. I was very lucky to have this positive input at an early age, you know, through fashion and dancing and growing up in a really, really rough neighborhood, which was like Spanish Harlem. I was lucky. I was lucky.
Lucky to have like such unconditional support from your parents.
Yes. And my family.
I mean, that's really unusual.
Yeah. But my father still had a little problem with it because my father was around, my father worked in gay clubs, you know, and he was around, he was like a bartender back in the day. And he would say, this is not the life I would choose for you because it's going to be a very rough life.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I don't want it to be rough for you. I remember. And I remember one day I'm in the park. I have an older brother named Tommy, and he's playing basketball with all his friends. And then here I come, Tommy, Tommy. And I start running to him in front of all his friends. And I'm running like this, you know, like a little girl. Because my aunts used to run like this. I wanted to be just like the woman in my family. So he came home and he says, Dad, Cosmo embarrassed me on purpose. He ran like a little girl in front of all my friends. Now they all know that he's a fag. So anyway, long story short, my father came home and said, you could be who you want to be, but you can't embarrass your brother. So I kind of got that little spanking. Okay, it's going to straighten Cosmo out. So she's not so, I'm gay, hear me roar. Kind of broke my heart because I really thought my father, like I loved my father, you know what I mean? And I thought that I was so accepted, but I was always pushing it, you know?
Yeah.
And like in everybody's face at a young age, like where does that come from? My family was devout Catholics. And then my grandmother, Jehovah's Witnesses came to our house one day and she instantly became a Jehovah's Witness. So now she wants us all to become Jehovah's Witnesses. So here we are, 8 years old. All of a sudden, no birthday, no Christmas. And it says you can't be homosexual at all. You can't even like masturbate or touch yourself. I remember. So here I am at Bible study. So I'm like, the Bible also says the truth shall set you free. And I'm gay. And that's it. Like I was that queen. And my father's like, what am I going to do with this one? You know what I mean? But he was kind of proud that I stood up for myself. I got that from being encouraged to be who I was as a baby. I'm really proud of that. After years and years, I became a hairdresser in New York. And it was totally accepted. Like I was doing like everybody's hair and I was doing all the mob wives' hair, all this like Farrah Fawcett, you know, all the blowouts. And this was when I was partying, my club life, going to like all the clubs and New York, having the time of my life in the 80s. It was the best time of my life and the fashion and everything.
You and I have talked about that because I was there also.
Yes, yes, yes.
Going to
club area.
It's incredible that, you know, you had like just the kind of support that you had to be so free in yourself from such an early age and to be, you know, so confident and comfortable in your skin that way. Like it's a rare story.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. It's like sad because I have a lot of friends that basically had to hide and they still have like stigma till this day. They're like, where are you going to wear that to? And I'm like, I'm going to wear it to Ralph's, the grocery store.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's like perfectly normal for me, you know, to be flamboyant. Like in the 80s, my hair was all pink and it was like, you know, it was very punk rock. It was Deborah Harry. And I was obsessed with fashion.
Yeah.
Obsessed. And clearly I still am, you know. Yeah.
And the 80s was an amazing, I think we talked about this, that a lot of what I'm doing with StyleLikeU and all of this is just trying to preserve the beauty of individual expression and that full expression and like living in a world of everyone being a peacock, you know, in their own way. And I just saw the Led Zeppelin documentary that just came out. The style, and probably most of it came out of a garbage can. Like, and it was the most amazing style.
Yeah, no, Robert Plant.
Oh, my Robert Plant.
From his body, though, his body
His body and the
and
hair.
his hair and,
Yeah.
and his crotch. Could we talk? I mean, he exuded sexuality, but he would wear like a leopard full-length fur coat. You
Yeah.
know, he would wear scarves, very rock and roll. You know what I mean? Love that. Like he paved the way. Yeah.
Riveting. I mean, between the music and the style, it is just, it's insane. And just the whole feeling of that time period that I really miss. I just yearn for walking down the street, going to whatever, a bodega, and everybody is like, they're just being who they are, and like so
Right.
true to themselves, and they're not brainwashed in this kind of millennial beige
Yeah.
world that we live in right now.
Got it. Yeah, where they're like afraid of fashion.
What people have forgotten is style, because when you would walk down the street previous to this era, everybody had style because they weren't inundated with this brainwashing that everyone has to wear the same thing, the same color, the same, there wasn't this massive amount of marketing and fear around dressing.
Totally. There was definitely more freedom. The style came more natural. You're right. Like I go to West Hollywood and it's funny, like all the guys there, they just like they're going to the gym. You know what I mean? It's like all this athletic clothing. And I'm like, Queen, give me a homosexual card, girl. Like, you're gay. Like, just be, And they come in and like, Cosmo, you have a lot of balls to wear that. Like, you know what I mean? Because everybody there is so like in the machine.
They're afraid. There's a fear.
They're afraid.
Yeah.
But you could tell when they come in the store and they try like some bell-bottoms on. You could tell they love it. Like it's their inner spirit animal coming out. Their fashion spirit animal. But you're right. So many people are in fear to do it. Exactly.
Yeah, because everyone's been made, there's just been so much marketing that if a straight man wears anything that is a certain color or a certain shape, then you're signaling that you're gay. Or there's just so much marketing and so much constriction and so much fear around just being yourself. Like it's unusual to just be yourself and to just look yourself. Yeah. From the minute you're born, it should be like your parents and your extended family treated you. Be whoever you want to be, and then see what comes out of that.
Yeah. Expressive. You're right. I had a store in West Hollywood like 30 years ago, and I had to close it. I thought it would do so good. My like leather jackets and my sequins and my bell-bottom pants. I thought it was going to do so good. But no, girl, they were afraid of the fashion. So Melrose, it's more expressive, more freedom here. Because I get the straight guy from Burning Man, and he's wearing these clothes. You know what I mean? He's wearing bell-bottoms. Like, he's secure with himself. He works hard a corporate job. When he goes out, he wants to look amazing. It started in the 90s when the guys were wearing, like, those fur coats and they were going to after hours. The metrosexual guys, tweezing the eyebrows. You would think they were gay. No, they were not gay. They just wanted to look good to go to the club. And then also they would buy another outfit from me for the after hours. I mean, look at the Super Bowl. What's his name wear?
Kendrick
He
Lamar.
wore girls' bell-bottoms.
Yeah, they were amazing.
So basically, now I'm selling more denim bell-bottoms to the guys that are tough on the street. Like they need a reason. They need like a green light. But we never needed a green light. We always just dressed how we felt, So, like I said, we're lucky, and you're right. The machine is stopping a lot of people from being themselves.
They're
now.
selling. It's how they sell things. They sell things by creating fear, and then everybody needs to buy the same thing,
right?
In order to feel safe. It's created like a restriction around people's ability to be free and in touch with themselves and in touch with who they are inside out.
So that's what's
And
beautiful about my store, because I will drag it the fuck out of you. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like you come in like and so serious and like even like people from Germany, right? And they come in and we want black, black. And they're so serious. And before you know it, I'm dressing them up and I'm putting them in color and tight pants and scarves. And literally when you look at, because as a stylist, I'm like you, girl. We don't miss. I don't miss in styling. I don't miss in fashion. The only time I miss is in the gym. Okay?
yeah.
And I'm working on that now too.
What do you wear to the gym?
I'll wear like some really great leggings, kind of like what I'm wearing now. Like they're all colorful.
Let's see.
If I could get my leg up here, girl, we're doing good. Could I get a backup dancer, please? Me with my leg. Okay. You ready? All right. Wait, lift. Wait, can I get another backup dancer?
We got it back.
So, see these leggings?
Yeah,
Are they the best?
beautiful, amazing.
And they stretch like a condom. Hey, girl. So, when I wear to the gym, I used to wear 2 fake booties, and they used to call me Cosmo Kardashian. And I'm walking around the gym real skinny and long hair. I'm in like the most conservative gym in Burbank. But the response I get is not a negative response. It's always like, oh my God, the queen is here. What is she wearing? Oh my God. And you make more friends. I even met my boyfriend at the gym. He goes, I don't know what you are, but I like it. And that was 7 years ago. So, the truth will set you free. Be expressive, be who you are.
And you're magnetic. You're magnetic when you're emanating that.
Yeah. It's very expressive. So, I don't wear the booty pads anymore, but, but I do wear the leggings, yeah.
What are assumptions that people make about you based on when they see you? What are some of the assumptions that people make, like when you're in your life, walking around anywhere?
I don't know, like I'm lucky because I walk free and I walk in pride. You know what I mean? I have like no fear, basically. I remember in school I had fear.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So I was very flamboyant in school and in New York junior high school. And it was so bad that they would turn the principal's car over. Some of the teachers got raped, and it was really bad school in New York. This is when my father wasn't doing so good. But here I am with my Jordache jeans, my bell-bottoms, and hair fabulous, And most of the time it was like people got it because New York loved fashion in those days. So basically everybody was kind of fashionable. Like you said, it was more freer. But there was, of course, you got to deal with bullies. And I remember this one bully, he called my shoes sweet potato shoes. Okay? They were suede shoes. And that just bothered me. And every day he would just like crack on the way I dressed. And then he started calling me faggot, and it's like, it didn't really feel so good. Like I was so judged, and he growing up and, kids are mean. So I literally, thank God my father taught me how to use my hands and never back down. He always told me that if you don't fight, don't come home because I don't want to hear it. So I literally kind of like fought for my freedom. I have a lot of fist fights and some I won, some I lost, but I was still that kid. Is like, the Bible said the truth should set you free. And I remained that queen, bulletproof. But whatever I did really good. I wanted to be the best. Like when I was in Astor Place, it was like, Cosmo, haircut. So I learned how to be a barber, but I also would do the girls' hair. I was really good with long hair. Basically, I just remained myself. Did what I wanted to do, dressed the way I wanted to dress. And I was good at everything I wanted to do. So everybody was like, I want Cosmo to do my hair. You know what I mean? Cosmo knows the style. And then when I came out here to LA, basically I was supposed to be a hairdresser. That never went down because I was partying too much. My father was doing really well. He worked at the Palm Restaurant. So I really didn't have to work because he was making like so much money and he was serving like Larry Flint and Johnny Carson. And I mean, it was the life. that we never had in New York, my father gave us here. What happened, my father got sick. He got a heart attack from this like lifestyle. And basically the queen had to go to work. I had to go to work. So no more. I thought I was Michelle Pfeiffer by the pool girl. And I was like, it was over. So, and then I'm just partying. I developed like a little cocaine habit. You know, did you see me on Soft White Underbelly? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the story is true. That's my testimony. That all happened. I grew up like Goodfellas. So what happened was I didn't know what to do. I got a job on Melrose. And it was the store that my father took me to when I first moved out here because he wanted me to feel comfortable. So he bought me like a kilt and a beret.
Wow.
Right?
That's amazing.
So I go to that store and I go, could I have a job? I'm Cosmo from New York and everything. And they're like, well, let's see what you can do, you know? Two Israeli guys. I just started selling, girl, and styling and selling and styling. And then I didn't know, like, celebrities come to Melrose. I'm like, what? So I put hairdressing on hold because I almost cut somebody's ear off in a haircut. I was like, let me just, you know, maybe not the, the partying and the cocaine does not go with cutting a bob. And I'm like, okay, this little retail business, I like it. And the Israelis taught me the business part of it. Mm-hmm. They really did, about the shmata business. Long story short, save my money, get cleaned up, go to a rehab, and then come out and basically open my first store in Melrose. Yeah. And I remember Danny Bonaducci, China. Remember China, the wrestler? Mm-mm. Joni Laurel. She was on the cover of Playboy. She sold more Playboy covers than Marilyn Monroe. She was a wrestler. Anyway, beautiful. So they all started coming in, you know, and then Motley Crue, and there's like, it was a big buzz about Cosmos. It was kind of like, I was like the Vivienne Westwood of LA. Mm-hmm. And you would come in, there'd be disco music and rock music, and I would have a go-go box. Mm-hmm. And it was just the time. It was like it was my dream come true.
I love that your dream came true, and I just want to acknowledge your father buying you a kilt and a beret. I mean, that's beautiful. Like every father should be doing that for their gay child. That is just something to really, you know, honor.
You know, it still touches me because my father, he passed away like 8 years ago. You know, they lived in Beverly Hills with my mom. You know, and I got to be sober for that. And they saw me like so like successful on Melrose. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I just miss them like so much. You know, I miss my parents. And it's like, they're gone. You know, he died at 72. And then she couldn't live without him. They were together since they're 15. So she got so depressed, even though she had us kids. I was like, Ma, you still got the kids. Like, we need our mother. But she loved him so much, she went like 2 years later. She wanted to be with him. They wanted to be cremated. We mixed them together. And they're in my sister's house right now.
Wow. You mix them together. That's incredible.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. It's just touching every time.
It really is. I mean, the strength that they gave you to be so free, and especially in those times, you know, even that he told you to fight back. Here you are, this queen kid in a rough school, in a rough situation, and you were taught to stand up for yourself like that and not run away.
Yeah, and like with the social media thing, like I kind of got scared a few months ago because it was getting like fans everywhere, and it was just like, well, that day it happened to be too much for me. And my mother came to me in my dream, and she just held me by the hand. She goes, "You could do it, Cosmo. You got this, Cosmo." So just pinch me. Like, all my dreams are coming true right now. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's my parents doing it. It is. I feel like my mom's here. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just like, I really feel her. They're like, Cosmo, you could do it. Just keep on going. It's like, they're just so here. And they just created this. And, you know, from all the rough patches we had growing up, you know, because it was rough, you know?
Mm-hmm. They encouraged you to be the star that you are. What I mean by that is I feel that everybody has the potential. Everybody has that kind of light inside of them to be a star. And you're recognizing your own stardom and accepting it and stepping into it is helping other people and liberating other people to do the same. And that's what your mother is telling you to do.
Yeah.
They did
Yeah.
that for you.
Yeah.
And then it's your path to be doing that for others. And that's what's
Yeah.
happening to you.
It really, you know, and so many people are coming in and they're like, thank you for being you. And like, you could be 61 and still wear lashes and pink hair and, you know, just be yourself. And I'm sober because of you. All these miracles are just like happening, you know? And I didn't know. All I did was get on Soft Underbelly and I told my story.
You were honest and vulnerable.
Yeah. And my story had a solution, you know, because most of the people on that show, it's like doom and gloom. Like they don't get like a happy ending. You know what I mean? It's really rough. I didn't even know about the show. And then my sponsee went on and he was like, Cosmo got me sober. And so he goes, I want to meet this Cosmo. And before you know it, I told my truth. And now it's like they're doing memes and they're doing songs. It is such a beautiful thing. It really is, you know, and basically it's helping so many people where we need the help, you know, especially now. It's like so many people are terrorized right now, you know,
Yes.
because, you know, you give us the rights. And like a few years ago, we had our own bathrooms and this was fine. Like everybody would get along, you know, from the era of like everybody. I went to Studio 54, girl. It was like gay, straight. You know, it was everybody together.
I was working at Condé Nast, you know, like I was the fashion editor. We would literally hire people based on what they were their rings on their fingers. you'd like you'd walk in and if you were like a unicorn,
Yes.
you got a job. Can you imagine? It's the opposite now.
Yeah, no.
Now you're like you have to change your hair, you have to change your clothes, you have to change everything about
It's
you
backwards.
to get a job.
It really is. Yeah, it's very sad. But you know what? Like you're in New York, right?
I'm in LA right now. I live in LA.
Oh, you're in
New
LA.
York. Yeah.
So I fell in love with New York again. I was there when I did the billboard and I thought I was like Erica Kane and Susan Lucci. But New York had a vibe again, girl. Like all my stores in the Village, I found them. Like they moved. But I was in the basement. I bought so many shoes. And just like, I felt like there's a vibe there again. There's a pulse.
Yeah. I think there is a pulse. I think the dark times are happening only because we're in the beginning of a renaissance, of a rebirth. But I want to ask you, is there anything that you felt shame around that we haven't covered? Or is it just obvious that when you embraced it, it became a superpower?
I kind of always did what I wanted to do. There were some things that were shameful, you know? And thank God, like, I work a program today and I get rid of the shame, you know? I did what drugs was like my little superpower for a while in the 80s, like cocaine. I don't know if you indulged.
I did.
It was the thing to do, girl. Yeah, I would hide a lot of shame that, you know, I couldn't stop using it. You know what I mean? I was like, I tried to hide it. So it was basically the drugs and the addiction. You know, I tried to hide it. I tried to manage it and it just kicked my ass. So basically I was either going to be dead or homeless or get sober and face all those fears, you know, and you can't go around it. I had to like walk through all of them.
What were the things that you had to face about yourself?
Pure addiction. Like I literally, I am that addict where some people could have a drink occasionally. I'm that addict that's like a laboratory rat. Once I put it in my system, I have to go back and forth, back and forth. So I'm the queen that stays up for 9 days. Where people I hang out with, they're like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep. And I'm like, wait, we need to get more. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of shame around that. You know, like my appetite. I'm like, why am I getting high with people that are downtown that are homeless and they're telling me, slow down, girl. Like you're going, you know what I mean? I found out that I was a real drug addict, like a real hope to die drug addict. I had shame around it. I lost a business and I partied too long and I came back and they said, your store is gone. I don't know. It was just like, just being, just having that addiction alone. It was very shameful.
And have you gotten to a place where you love that person now? You accept and love her?
I don't regret the past. I came to terms with it. you know? What didn't kill me totally made me stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
had to go through all that pain to be where I am now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You
Yeah.
wouldn't be yourself. You wouldn't be this bright, shining star to all these people without all of
Right.
it. All of you.
Right. Right.
All of you.
Yeah.
It's the same for me. I've fallen on my face so many times. We don't have enough time to go into my drug stories and all that stuff, but I've had all of it.
Are you in the program?
It wasn't that bad for me at that level, but I've had a lifetime of healing from very intense childhood trauma and nervous system dysregulation. And it's been a whole journey just to really, like, God, universe, love, quantum field, whatever you want to call it, opening
Yeah.
my heart, because I wasn't welcomed into the world like you were. And I'm obsessed with validating everybody because I wasn't valid. I was given none of it. So
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
It
I always
is.
say, like, you don't have to be in AA, even though there's a lot of help there. There's also help with, like, children of drug addicts. There's a meaning for everything that you need and that you're struggling with. Because I'm still struggling, like, with food. And it's always going to be a struggle because I have that addictive personality. So it really bounces around. But at least the one that was absolutely killing me and making me hate myself and trying to rob me of my dreams, I had to do a lot of work about, around that. But I always say God lives on the corner. Like, you'll find,
Isn't
you know,
isn't yeah, or
you'll
isn't
find it. Even if I'm powerless and I can't help you, I believe that God lives on the corner, and the way he plucked me from a hopeless downtown LA where I was hanging out, he'll do that like he did it for you.
They'll do it. The energy, the way that I see it is that we are all born out of that intelligence, that energy, that love. We are it. It's us. And we all have the ability to access it.
Right.
And it's in everything, even in the pain, even in the ugly
Right.
parts. With any struggle that we have, with any darkness, with any ugliness, love is in everything. Love is in everything.
Yeah.
And it's there for us all the time.
Yeah.
Like the insecurity or around whatever, the struggle with your body. Like, is there any part of you that just love yourself for, like, you are beautiful? Like, you don't have to change your body?
Okay, so basically, 2 years ago, when it was really bad on Melrose, and basically everybody's like, you need to get on social media, Cosmo, because your personality. I went on Soft White Underbelly, and he's like one of the best photographers in the world. This is my first picture since I gained weight and everything. Oh my God. Girl, the picture on the cover of my episode, I said, Mark, what did you do? He goes, well, I needed to get the tragedy. I basically didn't want to get on camera, but after I saw the message I relayed, and so many people, I was helping them get sober after sharing my solution. Like, I was in the bushes. I was seeing things, hearing things, and I was released from the gates of hell. And if I could come back, you guys could come back. You know what I mean? The message was more powerful than anything I would ever look like. So I finally got the message. I had to go to rehab, learn how to eat, learn how to do, So anyway, LA has you like, you have to look this thin and you have to look this thin. No. So I basically didn't want to get on camera, and now you can't get me off camera.
It's the spirit. The
Yeah.
message is the spirit, and the spirit
Yeah.
comes through you. And
Yeah.
because the spirit's coming so strong through you, you are literally fucking beautiful. And that is the fucking truth. And that's just it. That is just it.
And you know what? If you see my pictures from then till now, it's like I literally got prettier. Like, now I like myself. I don't even need a filter. You know what I mean? And it's like, because it's an inside job. You know what I mean? It's an inside job. You're right. And I feel pretty, and I was hiding.
We're not here to hide.
Right.
We're not here to hide in any way. And you got that message from early on. But then it turned inside out for a while because of all the beauty standards and the shit outside that's telling you
Right.
you got to be this and this and that.
Right.
And
I
then
was buying into that.
Yeah, and then you got the lightning bolt. I love that so much. That story was incredible. When do you feel the most beautiful?
Like moments like now. Moments like now, when I accomplish designing something, or when I do like self-esteemable things, I feel better. I get this crazy self-esteem.
Meaning when you do things in your truth.
Yes. And it could be anything. It could be like serving coffee at a meeting, cleaning the ashtrays. It could be dressing Erykah Badu, you know?
Yeah.
So that's like a dream, you know? And it's like, yeah. And then I got to check myself because the ego, you know, for a few days, girl, you know, she's like hair flip. But it's just, that's when I feel beautiful. Yeah.
That's amazing. When do you feel the most vulnerable?
I've been feeling very vulnerable lately. Like I'm going through something, you know? And it's like, I don't know. Do you ever feel like when you're not completely on, you got to like push yourself? You got to act as if. I'm always got to be on all the time. If like people come in my store, when I'm off, I'm off. And they're like, you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm not feeling 100% on. I still beat myself up because I have that perfectionist in my head where it's like, I got to constantly be on and 100% and funny and all the things. But girl, sometimes, girl, the queen is tired, girl.
Do you think you're afraid that you won't be as loved or accepted?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bit of that. Yeah.
That's not true. Maybe that's the next step for you.
Yeah.
Like really, really embrace how loved you are and how held you are. Like really.
Wow. Could I get your number?
You absolutely can. We need to be best friends. I need you.
Yeah.
I need you. I feel a little isolated in LA because I'm a very New York person and I've only been here a few years, and I need people like you, honestly, because I don't know that many people, and I also don't connect to that many people like this. Like
Yeah. Me neither. My world is small. Like I go home to my dogs.
Me too.
And I got to be really careful because I have a few friends that like ouch, you know what I mean? So I can try to keep my world small, but I have like amazing people in my life. You know, like I have a spiritual, like my sponsor, you know, she's amazing. And we meet every day and we do like an exorcism. And so if you want to hang out, girl, and
I do.
Go thrifting or whatever.
I want to do anything with you, whatever, with thrifting.
I'm so down.
Like, first of all, I can't wait to go to your shop, but I go to the Way We Wore and to Recess. You know, I love Melrose. I mean, I'm coming.
So you turn me on to those places because I don't really go in those places. I'll turn you on to mine. I've been going in Burbank to Magnolia. You know that street, Magnolia? Oh my God, girl.
Vintage stores.
Talk about thrift stores.
Oh, whoa. Let's do that together. Honestly, besides my passion and love to connect and meet with free spirits and and what I do with Style Like You and everything, it's that. It's like vintage thrifting. I'm literally obsessed.
No, I know how you feel. There's things in here that I do not want to part with. You know, and sometimes I price them that high just so people would deter from buying it. But then I'll get that person that's like, has just as much passion about it that I do. And like, they deserve it. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got to get together, girl.
Yeah,
I want to go through all that stuff.
Okay, I have 2 more questions for you. What's your wildest dream?
My wildest dream is to seriously, like, lately I've been wanting to do comedy. I've been wanting to get up there and do a little comedy just to make people laugh. I love to entertain people and I love to make people laugh, you know? And from being in the dressing room for so many years and styling people, like my one-liners, girl, hilarious. I'm like, I just practiced that muscle. Like I just waxed on, waxed off for many years, waxed on, waxed off. So I think if I'm good in the dressing room, so I'm going to go to Flappers, do a little comedy. I like to entertain. That's my thing. Also, I want to be comfortable enough. I want to take care of my family in New York. You know what I mean? I really want to take care of them because it's still, the struggle's real. I love my baby sister. And basically, I want to make her, I just want to be comfortable because I worked so hard all these years. The queen wants to relax and travel. She wants to relax. But I want to help people like in sobriety too. That's my primary purpose. Help people take the shame off of like, because a lot of people aren't as fortunate as I was where, you know, they embraced me growing up. You know, a lot of people got thrown out on the street, you know, and I have a lot of friends that went through. So I just want to like, I just want to be helpful. I want to be helpful. I want to help my community, but not only my community, I want to like help everybody, be helpful, you know, do something.
That's beautiful. I lied. I have 2 more questions. What does self-acceptance mean to you?
All of it, girl. The lions, the tigers, and bears that are in my head when I wake up, all the fears, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, the judgment, all that, you know, because, you know, it's like, I'm not just going to wake up and be like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I have a malady, I have a disease, you know, and it's like, I have to treat it. So my acceptance is like trying to accept all of me, you know, basically not judge me. You know, I belong in this world. You know, I want to make a difference. I'm the Queen of Melrose. Hear me roar.
I love that.
Yeah.
Last question. What would you tell your younger self to never change about who she was?
I would tell my younger self, don't beat yourself up. Don't have any secrets. Like, you could tell me anything. You know, you could tell me anything. Because I think the secrets is where it's all, like, we're as sick as our secrets growing up, you know, and the shame. So basically, try to talk to that person and be like, it's okay. You know, you could tell mommy. See, right away I turn into a mommy, right? I'm the mother. And I'd be like, you could tell me anything, you know, and just make it safe and comfortable enough for little Cosmo to feel safe.
I love you. You are amazing. Your heart is so open and it is so felt. And yeah, wow. Yeah, it's really beautiful. And thank you
You're
so
amazing.
Thank
Oh
you
my
so
God.
much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
I just want to say that this podcast, and it was always like, you couldn't show up, I couldn't show up, you couldn't show up, and I had no idea it was going to be like this, you know, and I'm really, like, really grateful to meet you, and, like, really, like, yeah, I am in awe.